Welcome to the Chambers of Confession. Take your seat, hit the like button, and subscribe. Here we listen. We don't judge. Now, let's hear what one of us has to say. I left my 4-year-old daughter alone for 3 hours last Tuesday, and I'm not sorry about it. Look, I know how that sounds. Trust me, I know. But before you click away or call me a monster, just let me explain what happened. Because I can't tell anyone else this. My family would lose their shit. My ex would use it against me in court. And honestly, I'm not sure I wouldn't lose custody completely. So I'm changing names and stuff, obviously. But this is real. This happened. My daughter, I'll call her Emma. She's 4. Just turned 4 last month, actually. And she's been having these meltdowns lately. Not like normal kid tantrums, but these episodes, screaming for hours, throwing herself on the floor, hitting me. The pediatrician says it's normal, just a phase, but Jesus Christ, it doesn't feel normal when you're living it. I've been doing this alone for 2 years now. Her dad, let's just say he decided being a father wasn't for him anymore. Moved to Arizona with his new girlfriend, sends me $150 a month when he remembers, which isn't often. Anyway, last Tuesday started like every other Tuesday. Emma woke up at 5:30. She always wakes up early. I don't know why. And immediately started crying because her stuffed elephant wasn't in the exact right spot on her bed. Then she didn't want the cereal I gave her. Then she didn't want the toast. Then she didn't want to get dressed. By 8 a.m. I was already exhausted. I work from home doing data entry for this insurance company, which sounds easy, but it's not. I have to be online by 9 and I have quotas to meet, and if I don't meet them, I don't get paid. Simple as that. Emma was supposed to go to daycare, but she woke up with a fever. Nothing serious, just 99.2, but the daycare won't take kids with fevers. So there I was, trying to work with a sick, cranky 4-year-old who wanted constant attention. I set her up in the living room with cartoons and snacks, thinking maybe she'd just chill for a few hours while I worked, but no. Every 5 minutes it was something. She was thirsty. She was hungry. She wanted a different show. She couldn't find her favorite crayon. She needed help with the iPad. She wanted me to sit with her. And I tried, okay? I really tried. I kept getting up from my desk, losing my train of thought, having to restart whatever I was working on. By noon, I was 3 hours behind on my work, and Emma was having another meltdown because I wouldn't let her have cookies for lunch. That's when I snapped. Not at her exactly. I didn't yell or anything, but something inside me just broke. I stood there watching her scream and throw goldfish crackers all over the kitchen floor, and I realized I couldn't do it anymore. Not that day. Not for 1 more minute. I know this makes me sound awful, but I actually Googled, can you leave a 4-year-old alone for a few hours? And you know what? Half the results said absolutely not. It's illegal. You're a terrible parent. The other half said kids used to walk to school alone and we're all just paranoid helicopter parents now. So I made a decision. I put Emma in her room with her tablet, some snacks, and a sippy cup of water. I told her I had to run to the store and I'd be back soon. I made sure the front door was locked. The stove was off. All the dangerous stuff was out of reach. I even put a baby gate up at the top of the stairs. Then I got in my car and drove to the Starbucks down the street. I sat there for 3 hours, 3 whole hours of silence. I bought a coffee and a sandwich and I just existed. No one needed anything from me. No one was crying or screaming or demanding my attention. I finished my work for the day on my laptop. I read a magazine. I watched people come and go. It was the first time in months I felt like a human being instead of just someone's mom. When I got home, Emma was fine. She'd fallen asleep on her bed with the tablet still playing some cartoon. She never even knew I'd left the house. When she woke up, I told her I'd been working in the basement doing laundry, and she believed me. But here's the thing that's eating me alive. I'm not sorry I did it. I know I should be. I know it was wrong and dangerous and I could have gotten in serious trouble. But those 3 hours probably saved my sanity. Maybe even saved Emma from having a mom who completely loses it and does something worse. I've been a single parent for 2 years and no one talks about how hard it really is. Not just financially though, that's part of it. I'm talking about the mental exhaustion. The fact that you never ever get a break. Even when Emma's asleep, I'm still on duty. Still listening for her to wake up. Still planning the next day. Still worrying about whether I'm screwing her up. My mom keeps telling me I should date. Find Emma a new daddy. Like it's that easy. Like I have time to date when I can barely keep up with work and parenting. Like any decent guy wants to take on someone else's kid. And all the baggage that comes with it. My sister thinks I should move back home. Let them help. But she doesn't understand. Her husband makes 6 figures and she's never had to choose between paying the electric bill and buying groceries. She's never had to explain to a 4-year-old why we can't go to Chuck E. Cheese like her friend did for her birthday. The worst part is the judgment from other parents, from family, from random strangers who think they know better. Like when Emma has a meltdown at Target and people stare like I'm some kind of failure. Or when I have to bring her to work events because I can't afford a babysitter, and my boss makes comments about work-life balance. I love Emma more than anything in the world. I would die for her, kill for her, give up everything for her. But sometimes I look at other people's lives, people who can go to the bathroom alone, who can have adult conversations, who can watch a movie without someone interrupting every 5 minutes. And I feel this rage, not at Emma but at the situation, at her father for abandoning us, at myself for not being stronger. The thing is, I think I'm actually a pretty good mom most of the time. Emma's smart and funny and mostly happy. She knows I love her, she's hitting all her milestones, she's healthy, she's safe. But there are these moments, these breaking points, where I don't know if I can keep doing this. That Tuesday wasn't the first time I've thought about just driving away. Not forever, just for a day or two. Just long enough to remember who I am when I'm not constantly needed by someone else. I've never done it, obviously, but I've thought about it, and that scares me more than leaving her alone for 3 hours. I keep thinking about what would have happened if something had gone wrong. If there'd been a fire, or if she'd gotten hurt, or if someone had broken into the house. The guilt would have killed me. The legal consequences probably would have ruined both our lives, but nothing happened. And those 3 hours of peace might have prevented something worse from happening later. Because I was reaching my limit, and when parents reach their limits, bad things happen. You read about it in the news all the time. I'm not proud of what I did, but I'm not ashamed of it either. I'm just tired, bone deep, soul-crushing tired. And sometimes being a good parent means admitting you're not perfect and finding ways to cope that aren't ideal, but keep you functioning. I won't do it again. Not like that, anyway. I'm looking into getting Emma into a part-time preschool program. Maybe finding a mother's helper for a few hours a week. I need help, and pretending I don't isn't doing either of us any favors. But if you're judging me right now thinking you'd never do something like that, I hope you're right. I really do. But I also hope you never find yourself in a position where you have to find out for sure. Because desperation makes you do things you never thought you'd do. And sometimes the choice isn't between right and wrong. It's between bad and worse. That's all for tonight, Chamberlains. What are your thoughts? Share them in the comments. And if you have a confession you'd like the chamber to listen to, do not hesitate. Forward them. Remember, we listen. We don't judge. Subscribe and don't forget to hit the like button. See you in the chambers. Same time, tomorrow.